Okay, first off, we're going to look at how we open a file in InDesign. So we're back on our Moodle homepage. This is your Year 1 homepage. For the Type and Grids brief, we're going to scroll down to the Introduction to Graphic Communication module. Within this module, we've obviously got our briefs and session material folder where all the information, all the resources that you use within a particular brief are kept. And in this one, within this module, you'll find there are going to be 3 briefs over the course of the time up until we finish in April. Type and Grids is the brief you're working on now, and then we will have a brief called Branding and a brief called Retail Design later in the year. But there's nothing in these folders yet because we haven't started those projects yet. So if we look in the Type and Grids resources folder, you can see all that you need to be able to begin the Type and Grids brief. So again, everything is normally labelled in an easy to understand manner. Going off the icons, these purple icons here, they're QuickTime MP4 files. So again, these are recordings of the briefing that we did back in December and of the Monday sessions that I've done with you for the past 3 weeks. So all those recordings are on there and you can go back and watch them at any time. There's previous student outcomes here of last year's students who answered this brief, so you get an idea as to the work they did. And then moving on up, we've got the brief. Obviously, very important part of any task is the brief. That's there, and it's always labelled. It's got the word brief somewhere within it, so you know what it is, and it's Type and Grids brief. And then the other elements here, there's a couple of PDFs that talk about guides to using layout grids and how you can still be flexible with them and the reasons we use layout grids and their importance. And these top 4 items here, these are the key things that you need to begin this project. So we've got 2 IDML files, as you see. That's a form of InDesign file. And it's a more accessible form of InDesign file that will open in any version of InDesign. Normally, an InDesign file has the little suffix INDD, and that only allows you to open that file in the same version of InDesign that it was created in. So if you've got an older version of InDesign, it won't open that file. What's good about an IDML file, as I've saved these as, is it means if you are using an earlier version of InDesign than I'm using, they'll still open in your version of InDesign, so you shouldn't have any issues with them. The other 2 items at the top here, these are bitmap files with the BMP suffix, and this is the iMagazine logo and the iMagazine strapline, and they're both used on the cover itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to download all 4 of those things. So again, we're all aware how we download items off Moodle. Again, I'm doing mine on my Mac, so it might look different when you do it if you're using a PC. And then within my downloads folder here, we can see that I've got all 4 things I've downloaded. I'm just going to select them all, drag them onto the desktop, and then very importantly when you're working in InDesign, make a folder. Like I said to everybody before, one of the key things at InDesign is organization and knowing where things are at all times. If you've downloaded an image or you downloaded something that you've used on an InDesign page and then you move that image or you delete that image, then there's going to be a problem the next time you open InDesign. So I'm just going to call this, just for sake of argument, InDesign for now. And again, just checking within this folder, we've got the 2 bitmap files and the 2 IDML files that I just downloaded from Moodle. Okay, so we can dispense with Moodle now, we don't need that. It also opens up, as you can see on my screen, the bitmap files that I've opened as well. I don't need to open those just yet. So we're in this position now, we've downloaded the template. So now we're going to open it up. We'll open up the cover one first. So again, double click, and this will open immediately within InDesign. I've already got my version of InDesign open, so it'll open relatively quickly. It might take longer on yours if you haven't got InDesign open because it's got to go through the process of opening the application first. Mine should just, I say it should be relatively quickly. All being well, it'll open shortly. Here we go. So there's the cover, and you can see it's already dropped in because I've downloaded these folders, these bitmaps here. It knows where they are and it's downloaded them in instantly. So you can see if I just ungroup that box there, object ungroup, you can see that that's made up of two separate objects. That's the logo, the iMagazine logo, and that's the strapline, the iMagazine strapline. So they're effectively they're what we call bitmap files or picture files. So those are two pictures, and the rest of the cover, as you can see, has got absolutely nothing on it yet, because that's your job. You're going to put an image here on this cover that will act as the front cover to your magazine. This is the exact size of the magazine. So sometimes in InDesign, you're making a new folder, you're making a new file, a new document. You don't need to with this. So if you don't need to go up to File, New Document and all that to open up a new folder, to a new file, you can just use this template that we've opened up straight away, and it's already done for you. And I've even put these blue key lines, these blue grid lines, as you can see here, that denotes the area, a kind of safe area, if you like, within which any text you're going to include should be within this area. This outer edge is the edge of the magazine, but this, if you keep all of your content, all of your text within these blue lines, then it ensures you're not going to lose anything when it's cut off. Okay, we'll come back and look at the cover at in a later moment, but that's just how the cover looks when we open it. And now if I just double click on the template spread, again a similar thing will happen, and there we have our template is now open in InDesign. And again, you can see it's different to the cover. The cover is just a single page. It's the cover of the magazine, so it's just one page. The template spread is a double page spread. So you can see here we've got a left-hand page, and here the other side of this purple line, that is the middle of the spread, we've got the right-hand page. So this again, you don't need to go to File, New Document and start measuring things. It's all done for you. The exact sizes are here. And again, there's many more grid lines on guidelines on this, as you can see. And again, we'll look at how those work and what you do with those lines in a later video. But that, in short, is how you download the files, put them in a folder so you know where they are. You don't need to rename them. You can keep the names they've got. And then you double click on them and they should open up and look like that in InDesign. Okay.